What do you thank yourself for?
Thank myself for?
Yeah, what do you, like, I believe that if it wasn't for me, I wouldn't be here. And I thank myself for giving myself grace, and sometimes I thank myself for being a disciplinarian. What are the things you are thankful for that are internal? What things do you think? Because that's an example of a story, that story right there. Surviving that story means that there had to be perspective that you grew from. What do you thank yourself for?
I think I thank myself for, like, I'm always motivated to do something. And I see some of my friends from my past that have never really gone after the things they talk about. They'll talk about it. They'll say one day they're going to do this, one day they're going to do that. Like, if anyone that knows me knows that I actually will go and do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I said, as a suburban white kid who grew up in the suburbs, San Mateo, California, not a hip hop place at all. Like, no major artists have ever come out of that city. That I'm going to go to New York and become a major DJ, and I'm going to get into this hip hop thing and be, one of the main voices in it and so forth. Like, nobody believed that. My mom didn't believe it. I remember even when she drove me to the airport to go to New York, she was basically telling me how I'm wasting my life and I'm running away from responsibility and so forth. I was crying as a 29-year-old man hearing my mom say that, because my mom never really understood what I did. But knowing that I still had the tenacity and still had the drive to keep going after things when for a long time they were not working out. Like it took me from the point that I, had a lot of money, went broke, to the point where I had a decent amount of money again. 10 years passed. It was a lot of, being homeless, sleeping on my friends' couches, then getting a small, a small little apartment in Brooklyn, like a studio in a shitty neighborhood. Like, it was a lot to go through.
What do you forgive yourself for?
I forgive myself for getting it wrong a lot of times.
That's nebulous. What do you mean? Getting
well, like, there was a version of me that would, even when I was wrong, I would still stand on it. And I think the Farrakhan situation was a good example of that, where, like, I realized shortly afterwards that there was more to this video and I could just take full responsibility for it, but I'm just standing on, my own bullshit at that point. And I think that over time, and a lot of it is like people around you are saying, no, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you're listening to certain people and so forth. And at one point, I just had to realize that, like, I'm just going to get it wrong sometimes. And when I get it wrong, let me publicly say that I'm getting it wrong and address it, not only publicly at that moment, but then keep addressing it in, interviews. Like the whole thing with, like, the Princeton professor that I went back and forth with. I had to go forward and say, listen, I was just trolling. I never intended her to lose her job or anything else like that. I never called Princeton University. I was just trolling. I thought she was trolling me, so I'm trolling her back. But it's now being perceived as this white guy is trying to get this black woman fired. Like, this was not my intention at all. I'm arguing with the Princeton professors. That, to me, supersedes race and gender and so forth. These are people at, I went to UC Berkeley. She's a professor at Princeton. We're having intellectual debate right now. I didn't think it would devolve into race and gender.
It's East Coast, West Coast, though.
Yeah, it was like that. But, once I saw the way that it was being perceived, I'm like, okay, listen, I'm sorry. I never want this woman to be fired. I don't. An internet back and forth shouldn't result in someone losing their job. And ultimately, she didn't lose her job.
Are you a better friend, a better professional, a better father, a better listener? What is your best attribute? Like, what if I were what is your best attribute? What do you think you do better than you do anything else?
I mean, unfortunately, it's a better professional.
That's not unfortunate.
No, I think it's unfortunate because I need to work on those other parts more. And I feel that sometimes I lean back on the professional part and let the other parts go without a lot of attention. And I think sometimes I feel that, well, the money will make up for
Everybody
the
does.
time.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Of
yeah,
course.
I can't do this and so forth as a friend or a father or whatever, but I'll get you something cool. I'll pay for this. I'll cover this expense. I'll do this. And I know that's not a real thing. I know this is not, it's just a Band-Aid. It's not an actual cure. So I'm hoping that as I get older and as I start to do this job a little bit less and start to kind of slowly retire, that I will spend a lot more time being a better friend, a better father, a better listener, and so forth.
What is the greatest quote you ever heard?
I mean, Warren Buffett, he changed my life. We said, be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. That was a big quote that really affected me. 48 Laws of Power. In competition, never go past your mark. Once you win, you stop. That's helped out a lot because you could turn a victory into a defeat by continuously, spiking the ball and mocking the person that you just beat. Because ultimately a lot of people you compete with at one point could turn into your allies, could turn into your friends.
If you don't emasculate.
If you don't emasculate them, and put them down and so forth. Like, we've all lost at certain parts of our life.
Way more than we want to.
Yeah, exactly. And it's easy to keep grudges going and so forth. Watching the Vince McMahon documentary really kind of changed me because I saw a person that was just pure business. I've never really seen that before because he would have people leave his company, trash talk him, sue him, win the lawsuits, and he'd bring him back and work with him again. He'd incorporate those lawsuits into the storyline, and everyone makes more money. And it's just not personal. And I feel like over time, and that's what led to, for example, like me, reuniting with people like Lord Jamar, because it's like, there was some personal stuff that was said and so forth, but at the end of the day, there is a basis of a relationship and there is a potential business here and so forth, and let's just all get off our bullshit and work it out.
Or see if we can work it out.
Or see if we can work it out. You can't work it out with everybody, but a lot of people you can, especially if there was a real relationship to begin with.
Of course.